Alright, Gorguts.
Oh, alright, Pepe.
What you been up to recently then? I haven't seen you in a grot's age.
Well, I'm glad you asked. You know I am an extraordinarily cunning orc, who is always thinking of ways to outwit those beakies.
I'm aware that is what you say, a lot.
Well, I've invented a way to talk, so that any sneaky humies what might be hiding around, trying to discover our cunning plans, will not know what we are saying.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I call it orky rhyming nonsense.
How's that working?
Well, simple. It involves replacing the words you want to say with a phrase of 2 or more words, one of which rhymes with the original word. This phrase can then be shortened to just one of the words. Easy.
Oh, but,
I can see by the furrows on your brow that you was confused. So, squiggly beast means feast, yeah?
Squigzooter is shooter. Squig and settle is battle.
You with me?
Squigzooth means tooth. Squig bite is fight. Squig's ear is beer. Squig's raw door. Squig's stable table. And Squig's lunch is a punch, etc. Get it? I think so.
Right, so for example, I went to the Squig's arms for a few squigs after the squig. Now as soon as I threw the squig and I spied that squig Slacktooth, he chucked me such a squig, so I squigged over and I squigged him square in the squig. He went flying through the squig, sending squigs everywhere. I thought he was Squig at first, but then Squiggy and Squiggler squigged the squig and Squig squared out the squiggy. We squigged and squigged for the rest of the squiggly squiggler.
I really have no idea what you just said.
Ah, but neither do the Umies.
You really are as thick as Squig, you are.
Hello, Sidney here, and welcome to the Drunken Ork. So what we're going to do today is have a look at some sneaky orcs, some commandos, interesting stuff. So I'm going to show you the bits and bobs I'm going to use to make some commandos. I want to make 15, 3 lots of 5. And they're all going to run as death skulls probably, but I'm not really going to concentrate on making them too blue, at least not all of them, because I'm going to run them with something else. So these are the bits I'm going to be using. I've got bits from the war bike kit, which you might be thinking, well, commanders don't go on bikes, and you'd be right, but there's some nice heads in there and some nice, you know, alternate melee weapons. Got some Stormboy kits, Cracker Jacks there, lots of lovely melee options in there, and heads. I'll probably not use heads. And I've got, of course, the boys kit. Really, really good. In addition to these, put them down there so I've got some room. I've also got some odds and sods, which we'll have a look at now. Yeah. So I've got here, I've got to say I've got lots of, they're just, you know, GW boys bits, sluggers, choppers, and what have you. I've got more of those besides, that's not all I've got. I've got some third-party bodies, like that. These, some of them are a lot bigger, knob-sized, as in the size of the knob models. Not, well, it doesn't matter. Some of them are more naked. I've got some fat ones, some about a fat-bodied orc, quite identify with, you know. So they're cool. And I've got some backpacks from Kromlech. And for the heads, I've got obviously lots of heads about. But I've also got these 2 sets from, I believe, Spellcrow. I don't know if they're not even focused. It's hard to focus because it's just unfocused. But they've got little woolly beanie hats. And they've got berets. What colour berets? Probably not green, to be fair, because of the clash. I've also got some third-party legs. Those ones I think are from Spellcrow as well. Which, to be fair, they're quite diddy. Little diddy legs. But they're running, so that's cool. And I've got these lovely ones from, I believe they're from Hardcore. They know the score. Running and standing, but lots of detail. Lovely, lovely resin from there. So yeah, with these bits and those boxes, I'm going to put together some commandos. These are the bits I used. I've since put the commandos together in 5 squads, almost completely. Some of them haven't got heads. It's very sad. I've primed them and I've dry brushed them just to pick out some details, so you know, help you see what was what. And that's it really. I haven't painted them fully yet, but we'll come back to them in a future video when I have. But for now, let's have a look at the models.
Right, so there's the first 4 boys. So you see on this one, he's got some running legs to show how dynamic he is. Excuse me painty fingers. He's also got a standard boy slugger. Actually, I think that's off the Storm Boy, the bell-fed slugger, I think. And that is a Forfun mini robotic, or bionic should I say, dagger arm. Got the commando head and a lovely backpack. That's cool. Second commando, same sort of head, slugger, and give him a length of chain, because you know that's quite commando-y. Probably took it off someone's bike, slowed down an enemy advance, maybe something like that. And he's got a backpack as well. Also running. This fella, static legs. He's got an open shirt, look at that, so you'll be able to see his belly. And slugger, and that is a Storm Boy axe. And I think there's nothing more commando-y than an axe being held like that. Throat slitter style. He's also got a big backpack on with some stick bombs and rope and what have you. But that's a cool looking commando to me. And then the last one, again, commando axe. And slugger and what have you. Hopefully the detail on these are coming out. You can see them okay. They will look better when I've painted them. And there's a knob in that squad, as there is in most squads. Let's get them up the road a bit. And there he is. He's a bit bigger, so I used the hardcore in his legs. So he's getting to stepping. And a big old body. Give him a power claw. Just from the knob kit. And that arm is a Forfun Minis arm. Now he's pointing where the charge is going. But that's the arm itself. As you see, I have 2 of them. This is the left one. Now if you see at the shoulder, there's no actual point to glue it on. So you trim that where you want the connection to be. So you can have the arm pointing forward, you can be pointing out, depending where you cut away. You can have it rotated, so you can be pointing like, you know, almost like finger gun sort of thing, or like that, or like that. It's up to you. But that's got a bit of flexibility there, I like that. Really big fan. So that is the knob for the what's going to be the red berets, because green berets would clash with the skin, and blue berets, because big death skulls, would just be a little bit too international peacekeeping for me. Well, for orcs really. Now the next squad, I have primed blue, because these are going to be blue. Now I'll show you the knob on these first. Now I did just use the knob body, which is a little bit ironic, because although it's the most static of the poses, the boys themselves are the least static. I think they've got a lot more movement to them. So he's got a big chopper and a slugger, got his backpack on, and now if you see the head on him with the little woolly hat, the reason why I haven't glued the head onto the other boys is the head takes up a lot of room, and I wouldn't be able to get the other body to paint to do justice. You know, a bit awkward. But also, I've primed the heads black to save on, you know, painting the out hat, because the hat's going to be black. So these boys haven't got heads. So use your imagination, they're going to have a similar head to him. Like that kind of, you know, Benny from Crossroads. If that makes any sense to you. So here we go. See, these ones are a little bit more, I think they're more dynamic, they look more like they're running. Especially this one, I think that's a great one. He's running over difficult ground. Whoop, you little beast. See, he's eager to leap. Backpack again. Commando axe. Yeah, I think he'll be alright. Now this one, he's got a knife. He hasn't actually got a slugger on him. A couple of grenades on his backpack though. But he's charging it forward, giving it the horns. The horns of the Death Skull. Maybe he's probably... It looks like he's wearing dungarees as well, so that's pretty cool. Now that hand, again, for fun minis. There you go, there's another one there. And that's one smoking a cigar, which I used on a goff knob. And the other one that's missing is one that's given the bird, which just snapped off. And you get 2 of each. As in left and right. That's cool. And another runner with a commando axe. Now at this point with the commando axes, you can probably see a little join there just below the hand. I had to start snipping normal axes, cutting the ring off. And where's me pointy stick? That'll do. So I had to start cutting the ring off, which was on the bottom of the hand, snipping off the axe at the top of the hand, snipping the head off the axe, putting the axe head on the fist, the shaft, or the haft, possibly, below the fist, and then the ring on the bottom. And once it's painted up, you'll not be able to tell, but I just think that's a better way to hold an axe. If you're a commando, if you're a boy and you're stuck in the middle wailing away with it, that's absolutely fine, but that's more commando to me. Oh, use your thumb, son. It's all for a reason. Again, another dungaree looking one, just running, and I just thought I'd give him a pipe. I know that's not particularly commando-y, a spiky pipe, but I just like the look of it. And although these are commandos, they're not as professional as the last lot with the berets. There you go, backpack and all that. So that's the second lot of commandos. And the last lot, I mentioned that the blue ones were less professional. I think if you don't want professionalism, you come to these lads. I mean, they don't even have backpacks. You know what I mean? What kind of commando doesn't have a backpack? I'll tell you what kind. It's the fat lads. Fat bodies. Now I can't remember if the fat bodies came from Kromlech or Spellcrow. But whoever they came from, thank you very much. They're awesome. I love them. But yeah, so just look at chopper fatty. Just look at grenade fatty with they're from the Stormboy kit, the grenades, and the head I think is from the Warbiter kit with the little goggles on. A running fatty with a Stormboy chopper and a nice little Mohican head, and another fatty with I've repositioned the arms on a lot of these. You can see, so he's holding the slug out to the side as opposed to just straight ahead like you normally do, just by cutting and repositioning the shoulder joint. I'll show you how to do that once we're finished looking at these. Again, bionic arm dagger from Forfun, and I believe that head is from Hardcore. These all look a bit better when I've finished painting them. And the knob for this one, King Fatty Boom Boom. Giving it the big ins, bare chest, belly out, flicking the bird, power claw hanging down. I like that power claw. I think that's from Kromlech. It's just got a lot more detail to it. There's a lot more pipes and, you know, cables and all that sort of jazz going into his arm. Big old slugger on the back. Yeah, the head's Hardcore, the body's for fun, the fingers for fun, the arm. Actually, I'll hold that so you can see it there. That'll be clever. The arm giving the bird. The arm's actually there's an arm and a knob kit that's waving the chopper around, and then I just cut the chopper off and give him one of those fingers. So that's the knob for the fat lads. Commando squad. Basically, we're going to move the flat face on the arm that attaches to the torso
And this will allow you to choose whatever position you want to put the arm into. Normally they're very much elbows at the sides, and then it's just straight up and down, and it's not very natural movement. With this way you can have the arm come out more for, say, a downward swing with a chopper, or just a more realistic way to wave a slugger in the air. So imagine the angle you want the flat face to be at, and essentially just cut away the excess, but trying to make that a wedge shaped cut which goes through the centre of the original flat face. So you're basically just trimming off part of it. Now that little bit that you cut off, you're going to need that, so try not to have it pinging off in all directions. So with that wedge that you've just cut off, you glue it back onto the arm. Now you do this basically by the cut. If you imagine you've made the cut and then you're folding it so the two halves of the original flat face touch, and that's what you're going to glue, which will create a new flat face, which is essentially the bits you've just cut in half. Now that is the top of the shoulder, now replacing the armpit, which, you know, is not perfect, but for boys in troops and stuff like that, I think it's a lifesaver. It's so easy, it's so effective, it's so quick. If you want to go back and start patching up with green stuff and what have you, little sort of impurities, by all means, knock yourself out. I don't bother. I would use green stuff if I was doing this with a character model. If I was kitbashing a war boss or something like that, I would use green stuff like that just to get it, you know, not perfect, but closer to perfect, as close as I can get it to perfect. But for normal boys and snobs and, you know, your commandos, tank busters, etc., I think this is absolutely spot on. Hopefully you do too, and hopefully I've explained it well, or well enough anyway. So there you go. That's what I do with the arms. It's I didn't make it up. I saw it when I first started back in the hobby, and I saw it and I thought that is a really good idea. I shall do that. I will do well here, and I did. So that's me commandos. This video, I don't know how long it's gone on for. It's been about 45 minutes or so in recording it. So that's quite long, isn't it? So I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm going to start saying this at the start of the video because I don't think anybody's still watching at this point. But don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Tickle the bell and all that malarkey. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Sydney here, and welcome. Fan. Where's my fucking teeth? Shit the bed! I'm flying too far, look at fucking I feel like a bat I got camera, I haven't painted them yet. So I'll show you them now and we'll have a look and see. Eagle-eyed among you may have noticed my cutting board is on. A cutting board. We heard you like cutting boards, so we've got a cutting board for your cutting board. In fact, let's add a third one. No, my friend, I can't see you. This plate fungus obscures my view. Nothing but crooks and tweezers. What will each all about it?